guys and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I want to look at the Piers Morgan interviews the real life Martha from Baby Reindeer because I'm curious. Basically, he's had like 8 million views on it. I can't let him have all of that. Also, if I watch this and disperse the clips within this, that means you don't have to watch it, so you don't have to add to his view count. You're all welcome. Basically doing charity work. It's called Richard Gadd is Psychotic, Baby Reindeer's Real Martha. I do have to say it already, the comments are quite funny. Let me get this straight. She's suing a show she hasn't seen because the character in the show isn't her. I'm nothing like Martha, sits and acts exactly like Martha for an hour.
Now, Richard Gadd said that he and Netflix had gone to such great lengths to disguise Martha's real identity that she wouldn't even recognise herself.
I didn't bring that up in my other video, but he did say that. He did say, oh, we disguised her identity so much that the real life Martha wouldn't even recognise herself. And then some people, because I think that that's just a bit of a lie, really. Some people have really taken that at face value and gone, oh, so maybe, you know, this woman Fiona isn't Martha. Maybe in real life she's younger or she looks different or whatever, right? But the real life Martha has already incriminated herself of all of the statuses that she's made. So it kind of clearly is her.
And the woman at the centre of the story was outed online within hours simply by cross-referencing her posts on social media with those that were used in the show.
She'd kind of out herself in a way. It must be hard when you're in the middle of a public like media storm and stuff, but don't stalkers enjoy when they get attention because it validates what they're doing or feeling somehow? Maybe parts of her is enjoying this. Let's just wait. Let's just find out.
First of all, why have you decided to go public?
The internet sleuths tracked me down and hounded me and gave me death threats, so it wasn't really a choice.
I mean, I covered this in my last video on the subject where is your sense of self-preservation? Like, why are you messaging someone who's allegedly a stalker and allegedly unwell and all this type of thing? And also just don't like, sorry, sending death threats online. Is this 2012?
I came on your show because you're a veteran broadcaster. I think you'll give me a fair hearing.
Behave. Veteran. He's just old. Sorry, Piers.
I find it quite obscene. I find it horrifying, misogynistic.
It's very like rehearsed what she's saying, which I mean is normal because this isn't really a normal thing for most people to be in, suddenly like in a talk show talking about this. But I don't know, it feels a bit like saying those buzzwords. Okay, do you know what? This generation of older people, they love to call like my generation and lower snowflakes and all this stuff, and yet they immediately weaponize the terminology that my gen, the gen above, the gen below use when it can be used in their favor. Calling Baby Reindeer, the TV show, misogynistic, I'm not really sure how, but maybe she thinks, oh, that'll be a good buzzword to use because people will latch onto that because people like just be like, that's misogynistic, that's misandrous, that's an ism. You know, people like to do that.
Were you online at all? Because you were before, but are you these days online? Are you on X, what used to be Twitter?
Don't it defeat the purpose of the name change if we all have to continue to be like formerly known as Twitter? Because otherwise you don't know what people are on about. Why is Musk a billionaire? Pfft.
This is just some of the reaction to Baby Reindeer from members of the public.
And this is all a true story.
This is all a true story, yeah.
If I put my video a little earlier, I could have ended up on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Oh, how sad for me.
But you know what I find? They always manage to find a similar looking woman and the build tends to be the same.
Of course he's showing, like, do any of these men have a brain cell to rub together? I literally have no idea who they are. Should probably look them up. The Fellas podcast? Who are they? Oh look, they've had on Will and E, KSI, so I'm just Eddie Abu. So I'm just, again, burning bridges with absolutely everyone on this bloody platform. Whatever. I'm just bitter, that's all.
When you hear that, what do you think?
I think he always wanted this to come out, to persecute someone.
Which, again, I covered in my last video. I'm just not sure that Richard would have known how big it would have blown up. And also, there's a pretty long waiting game, isn't it, to have a Edinburgh show that you've made 5 or 6 years ago. That's really playing the waiting game, hoping that, oh, maybe one day, you know, this will get turned into a TV show and then people will hound this person. It seems kind of like a little bit unlikely. Loads of people do shows at Edinburgh. How many of them get Netflix deals? Do you know what I mean? It seems, I don't know.
I think he always wanted this to come out to take attention away from him and this rape allegation. And I just generally think he's got extreme psychiatric problems.
Tell us how you really feel. What do you mean rape allegation? Against Richard or the abuser in the series?
I mean, there's no doubt he has problems. I mean, if you watch given that he's written it about himself.
He's very open about that fact, and don't loads of us have problems in this day and age?
There are two true facts in that. His name is Richard Gadd, and he worked as a jobbing barman in the Holy Arms, and we met.
Poorly are loving this, I bet.
He didn't offer me a cup of tea. Nobody gets anything free from the Holy Arms.
Had a few lock-ins that say otherwise.
I was talking to somebody. It's pretty rude to interrupt. So he seemed to be obsessed with me from that moment onward.
Is it bad to laugh at that? Like, immediately, oh, he's obsessed with me, but I've only met him 3 times. Would you, huh?
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 58. I'm a year younger than you.
That's not even funny, but it's like something in Piers Morgan's face just... Oh, I'm 59. Sorry, it's not even funny, but it kind of is.
It says that you told Richard Gadd that he looked like a baby reindeer toy you once had as a child, hence the name of the show.
Yeah, it was a joke. So I have inadvertently penned the name of the show.
Right.
Okay.
Whilst bantering with you, Richard Gadd told you he'd like to hang your curtains.
Oh, for God's sake, that is a phrase that I could have done never hearing out of Piers Morgan's gob.
So as far as you were concerned, he never turned up at your place.
Correct.
But the Netflix show has him doing that.
Yes, I believe so. I've been told that.
She's been told a lot about this Netflix show that she hasn't seen.
Absolutely not.
What did you send him?
No, none of that's true. I don't think I sent him anything.
You never sent him anything?
No. I think there may have been a couple of emails exchanging, but that was it.
I don't think I sent him anything. Maybe a couple of emails. Is this bad? Am I the bad one here? Or is it Piers Morgan for doing this interview?
You actually tweeted him numerous times.
No, it wasn't numerous. It was about 18 tweets there.
How does she know that off the top of her head? Maybe she's making it up.
It was banter.
Right, but it establishes you were contacted. That's in public.
He is grinning her a bit. I didn't know what to expect of Piers, because Piers, he likes to just... I don't believe half of what he positions himself to be is true. I feel like he likes to just try and get the most controversy as possible for the most amount of views. So I half did expect him to be like, I don't know, I guess believing her. Am I not giving him enough credit, or am I giving him exactly the amount of credit he deserves? Who knows?
Did you write him letters?
Public, no. I said, what a shame, it's not your fault. Something
You
like
did
that.
write to him?
One later.
Oh, so it's gone from no emails to a few emails and that's it. Okay, some tweets and a letter. This is... How is this free? Like, how is this content free?
I mean, you could prove, I guess, quite easily it wasn't you.
Correct.
Because it'd all be on your computer.
Yeah, correct.
You'd be happy for someone to look at that.
Yeah.
I've always went a bit higher then. Yeah.
If it was you sending those emails, it would be very easy for the police, for example, to work out exactly where they come from.
Very easy for Piers Morgan to check. He'll hack your phone.
He's not got 41,000 emails. That's over a year.
According to you,
How
there's
long
only
would
there's
that
only a
take?
handful.
Yeah.
Right?
It's one easy way to solve this mystery. Let's check both their phones. Like when people wanted to see Hillary Clinton's email server.
Yes, Martha can't help with me because there are a number of allegations that have been put to me by journalists that are simply not true.
I feel like I'm part of the problem because there's such a market for this type of thing. And I don't usually care that much about true crime anyway, but this has been so fascinating. It's been so fascinating to watch unfold. And here I am watching it and doing a video reacting to Piers Morgan interviewing, and it's interesting, and there's no crime in being interested in something, but at the same time, is it egging it on? I don't know. I don't know. I'd hope not. Do I have to hold myself accountable for doing this? Whatever.
So all of this would come out in a court case.
In disclosure, yes.
And you're prepared to do that?
Yes.
Who do you think did?
That sure would be something to see, wouldn't it, if it actually goes to court?
I mean, would you accept that someone who did that would be very obsessive about someone?
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's a lot of emails. And why now? Why didn't you go to the police at the time? Or
No one likes that tired old defence of why didn't you go to the police at the time? Because the police don't do nothing. No offence, police people. Full offence, actually. I'm joking. They have their hands tied a lot of the time. What am I doing? What am I talking about? Anyway, we don't like that argument. Don't use it again.
What you're saying is that proves you cannot be Martha.
yes, and I would like to see Netflix's evidence for that.
It is such a thing that's easy to prove or not. Just look through the emails or get the police to ask the internet company or whatever. So say Richard made all of it up. Netflix would get so sued for that. Netflix would have to do their due diligence and at least verify and check that these emails actually exist for them to do a show about this. So Occam's razor, what's more likely? That Netflix have put themselves at enormous risk by completely hoaxing something, or Netflix that has hundreds of people, thousands of people working for it, massive organisation with lots of lawyers, lots of legal team, all that stuff, or she's not very well and she's making it up, like she's lying about it not happening. Well, what's more likely?
Did you ever attend his stand-up?
I think I went to one. It was a long, long time ago.
And you never...
Met him 2 or 3 times, went to his stand-up show. Interesting.
Did you ever attack Richard Gadd's girlfriend because you were jealous?
No, I don't think he had a girlfriend. I think he's homosexual.
That's what she says in the show. That's what Martha says in the show, isn't it? Just starts calling him homosexual.
They say it's based on a real person.
Who's they? Netflix?
Well, Netflix and Richard Gadd.
Netflix are about as mad as Richard Gadd. If they're saying that, is that...
Now, again, there is obviously a resemblance between...
Do you think so?
Well, a bit, but
That's hardly flattering.
Well, I don't mean to...
She said on one of her social media posts that, how could they get this ugly actress to play me? And it's just a bit like, oh, God. Mean, not true.
But the fundamental point of this is, did you take part in that? So did you go to jail? Did you have a trial?
Of course not. Of course not.
Well, Richard himself has said that part's not, like, her ended up in jail for a few years isn't true. So do your research, Piers.
Have you ever been to prison?
No.
Have you ever been charged with a criminal offence?
No.
Never?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
So that scene is completely invented?
That's completely false.
Which they said, like, not me, but, like, Richard said. Maybe he didn't. Am I making that up? I don't remember.
And getting a 9-month prison sentence. And that is completely untrue.
That's completely untrue. Very, very defamatory to me.
Yeah, because I think he said that, like, he can bear someone unwell being sent to prison, so that didn't actually happen. I don't know where I've got that from.
She doesn't even sound Scottish in that interview. Her accent seems to be varying.
Well, she's not. She's English. She's an actress.
I was going to say, it sounds more Lancashire to me, yeah.
What does this matter? Actors put on accents. Hurry up.
They're milking it for all they're worth.
Well, if they just put a TV show out, they kind of are going to promote it, right?
What do you feel about Richard Gadd?
I think he's psychotic. I think that anyone going along, being in that play, to somebody.
But is it possible he was under the impression that he felt sorry for you?
I got the impression that he was all out for himself, wanted to sort of control that bar, very, very inarticulate, very full of himself. I should never have gone in that bar.
Do you wish you never had?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
He says, Richard Gadd, he didn't see you as a villain, but as somebody who is unwell and needs help.
Yeah, well, he maybe should look a bit closer to home. Himself.
Am I bad for laughing? I don't care.
Instantaneous. You were tracked down incredibly quickly.
The Wednesday, the Daily Mail got in touch with me, so that was all over BBC Breaking News.
Why should you keep mentioning BBC Breaking News so much? You've been sponsored by them. But I agree that there's an issue with, I covered this in my last video, like trying to trust an audience who historically like can't be trusted to not interact or not contact people in, you know?
10th of May, for example, 2014.
Yeah.
Richard Gadd, did you get my recorded delivery letter sent to the theatre, sent to arrive bank holiday Monday? So you sent him a letter then?
What about, are you going to hang my curtains? What about that?
That was that, sorry you were raped, something like that.
What?
What the hell is that?
So you sent him a letter then?
That was that, sorry you were raped, something like that.
Didn't she just say she only found out about the alleged rape like this morning because someone told her about it? Well...
23rd of September, my curtains need hung badly.
My view is it's all about the money. The Martha Barstow Edinburgh Festival thing wasn't making any money. He'd failed as a comedian, he'd failed as an actor.
Had he failed as a comedian? Because I'm pretty sure like he'd been winning awards in Edinburgh Fringe and was doing all right.
Mrs. Ray said that she gave Aberdeen University law graduate you a trainee role at a legal firm. She said that she had to sack you days later because you were completely incapable of behaving yourself.
I walked. Her staff were really, really rude to me.
It's interesting how she paints herself each time as the victim, when maybe it'll be a bit more believable if she was like, yeah, I was younger and I was a bit shit. So, you know? Like, I've been fired from jobs and it was because I was younger in my early 20s and I was shit. And like, it's fine to say. It's okay to, like, admit that sometimes, you know? It's more sus if, like, someone's just always the innocent, like, victim in every single, you know?
You were then served an interim interdict to stop you from contacting the lawyer or her politician husband. Daily Record reported that.
She messed up, I know, and I've still to speak to David about that, the author of that Daily Record article. She didn't. She messed up.
She didn't, but the whole time she was nodding like, no, it's wrong.
But she said one was served on you.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
An interim
We have checked this out.
Well, again,
It's interesting because a few people are kind of saying the same thing. Like, Piers would have a team of people to investigate the people that he gets onto the show before they appear on the show. And, you know, if she is mentally unwell, then, like, they've dropped the ball because they shouldn't really be putting this online because she's not really getting to say, like, her side of the story because he clearly doesn't believe it. No one in the comment section believes it. I don't really believe it. I don't know.
have you had relationships
Boyfriends, yeah.
with men?
Oh.
I mean, if you don't mind me being pure,
I'm heterosexual.
Yeah.
Why? Interested, Piers?
I mean, how many relationships have you had?
I told the staff that relationships were out of bounds. A lot more than Richard Gadd has, I would say.
Come on, she's kind of funny.
I mean, he had a lot.
Quite a few.
If they only met a few times, how would she know how many girlfriends and boyfriends Richard has had?
Do you currently have a
Believes me,
boyfriend?
yeah.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
So what does he think
I don't
of
want
this?
to drag him in. He thinks this is horrendous. All of my lawyer friends do. All of my professional friends do.
She's kind of like in the show. My Martha's like, oh yeah, I'm friends with Ed Miliband and all these people.
You're obsessed with... sorry, I don't mean to be horrible.
I'm not obsessed with anything.
You've gone on at length for a good 10 minutes about the email.
It's kind of pertinent though, isn't it?
Huge number and voice messages. The voice messages he's kept apparently.
She's going to start calling Piers a stalker in a minute. I can see it now.
But if he has 350 voice messages and it's you...
It doesn't mean the drama is true.
But is it possible he's got 350 voice
I
messages?
doubt that very much. I just don't think so.
You doubt it?
Yeah, I doubt it. I mean, unless
Wouldn't
he's
you be-
taping me.
I mean, if you've never really...
But
You're not sure that he hasn't got those?
I think the only explanation for having a voicemail from me would be taping me in the Holy Arms.
I think she's thinking of what to say rather than just saying things.
Right. You just said you weren't sure if these were your voice messages.
Yeah, what I mean is somebody could be taping me.
Do you know what? Because usually Piers just interrupts. I can't actually stand to watch him because I find that he's just rude. He's just a rude person. He's always interrupting people and he never lets them, because people will be like, oh, like he owned this person here, and then you watch the clip or the thing, it's usually just him interrupting before the other person's finished their point and just like trying to domineer or overpower the conversation. He's actually sitting back and letting her talk, because the more she talks, the more she contradicts herself, or it's tangled up in this web she's weaving. No, I will not give Piers Morgan props. Can't believe my head voice just said that.
Somebody could have taped me in the holy arms
But
on a dictaphone or something
if
like that.
here's my.
Why would they do that though?
But
And the emails, obviously, there'll be an IP address, and that if that leads to you.
yeah, I mean, my point is though, even if that were true,
Richard needs to come onto my channel and show us the emails.
yeah, I am not saying at all that I sent loads of emails. You maybe misheard. Play back the interview.
I'm sorry, she's funny. I'm not laughing at her, but like, am I? I don't know. She's funny. She's so like, play back the interview. You misheard. Like, she's got some balls.
But if he does have 350 voice messages,
I know that he doesn't.
and it's your voice,
He doesn't. Unless he was taping me in the holy arms.
or he just kept.
Why would he do that? Why would anyone do that? Well, why would anyone send anyone 350 voicemails, I suppose?
You sound unconvinced. But
I'm not.
This is how AI optimizes my schedule.
I don't give a shit.
Now I have a
Ew.
It's your point that are you challenging him to reveal this evidence?
No, I would challenge him to leave me alone.
Because
I'd challenge him to release the evidence, because then that will show him up to be a liar, surely. Not just leave me alone. The damage is already done, right? Come on.
no, but if they say that you sent 41,000 emails,
Well, they
350
are
voice
completely
messages.
wrong.
all 744
They're
tweets,
completely wrong.
so they are lying.
They are lying. Yes, okay, yeah, in effect.
Yes, you had a relationship with this guy, and you did contact him a lot.
I knew this guy. I didn't contact him a lot. I've never said that in this interview at all.
No. But interestingly, for me, he's an interviewer, and I'm just trying to get to the truth. You understand?
No, I
honestly not trying to-
see that. It's your show.
I'm not trying to
I
trip
see
you
that.
up.
Piers' life is flashing before his eyes.
And you will categorically be taking legal action.
Absolutely, against both him and Netflix. So,
Who else are you planning to sue?
The Daily Mail. Anyone that's saying this is true and harassing me and
We'll just find out within the next few months then, won't we? Or next year. If she goes ahead and sues all these people, we'll just find out, won't we?
very
And their central claim that they made all this effort not to lead to you being identified, I don't think stands water.
I don't think it stands water.
To me, it's pretty. I could have listen. I've been a journalist 40 years. I could.
Debatable, Piers.
He has another 105 letters in your
Yes, it's
handwriting.
nonsense.
Yeah,
It's
but
nonsense.
Are you prepared for him to show that one?
He's
and the
maybe
others?
forged things. People forge a lot of things nowadays.
That'd be some dedication, though, to forge like 100 letters, right? In someone else's handwriting.
Do you have the same email address you've always had?
I had 6 at one point.
Why?
Because I like to keep people on different phones and different emails.
Different phones, huh? 6 different phones.
So you have some for your utilities, some for close friends, whatever. Yeah.
The 6 is a lot.
Is it?
Interesting.
But you had a lot of banter with him.
Yeah, but banter's one thing. Scottish banter down here is quite kind of welcome. It's not really fun city, is it? It's not jokey city.
Were you ever in love with him?
Yes. Is that a serious question?
Yeah.
No.
Clearly
I gave him the
was-
brush off. He asked me to sleep with him with a big green spot in his face one day. I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I thought you said he was gay, though.
I think at the very least, the Netflix duty of care and Richard Gere's duty of care has been a spectacular failure.
I agree.
I agree that Netflix failed on that. And at the very least, they're failing to protect their own backs, right?
And I think your staff were talking about Martha, the sequel or something like this.
That's what people are hinting at.
It's completely crazy.
Oh, we're going to get season 2 of Piers Morgan.
And with your law degree, what grade did you get?
Not bad. I mean,
Does this matter? Getting bored, Piers.
And what grade did you
politics,
get? For
women's studies. I did substantially better in that because I did more work.
you say you got a photographic memory, but
Yeah.
what grade did you get? If it came to it, would you take a lie detector test?
They don't prove much though, do they? Aren't they like very flawed?
About
If we
that.
set one up, you would do it.
I lied.
He's trying to milk the content, isn't he? Oh, let's get you on a lie detector test. Behave.
How many times did you meet Richard Gere?
Don't know.
What would you guess?
5, 6, maybe 5, 6 times.
That's up from 2 to 3 earlier.
I think he wanted to make money. I think he picked on somebody. There was a backstory there with that stalker article out there, right? So stalking's in vogue, going to prison's in vogue.
Is it?
Fiona Harvey, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
All just feels a bit icky, really, doesn't it? But beyond that, he had no real gotcha moment. I'd have thought his team would have done some much more research to maybe try to trip her up a little bit, because it's Piers Morgan, he always wants people to, like, you know, trip up and stuff. It's all right. Dare I say it wasn't that interesting? Whatever. The weirdest part of all of this is just watching it all unfold in real time. Am I concerned that by putting this video out, maybe I'll end up on Piers Morgan Uncensored? Not really. What do you guys think? What do you think of that interview? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Check out my community thing. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.